Hello, my dear friends. I am Dr. D.T. Sawant, J.A.T Art, Science and Commerce College for Women, Malegaon District, Nashik. Today's topic that is a folds type. As the type, shape and size of the folds depend upon the intensity and direction of the compressive forces and upon the nature of rocks of the different strata of the sedimentary rocks. On the basis of shape and size, folds have been classified under the following categories. Number one is a symmetrical, second one is a asymmetrical, number third one that is a one limb vertical, number fourth one is a isoclinal, fifth one is a recumbent, and last one number 6 is a anticlinal. As the symmetrical fold, which is also called as a upright or open fold. So if the axial plane bisects the fold is said to be symmetrical or simple or open fold. In other words, where the compression is relatively mild or more or less equal from both sides, the folds are simple, open, upright or symmetrical. Simple or symmetrical folds are however rare. The Jura mountains of France and Switzerland are a typical examples of symmetrical or simple folds. The Jura folds lie just to the north of the main collision origin of the Alps and are therefore called as foreland folds. The Zagros mountains of southwest Iran are another examples of foreland folds. As we see that asymmetrical fold, if the axial plane has a dip, the fold is described as inclined or asymmetrical fold. The asymmetrical folds are characterized by unequal and irregular limbs. In asymmetrical folds, both the limbs are inclined at different angles. One limb is relatively larger and the inclination is moderate, while the other limb is relatively shorter with steep inclination and length. As a one limb vertical fold, when the axial plane is inclined in such a way that one limb is vertical and the other steadily inclined, such a fold is called as one limb vertical fold. Now, next one, that is number 4, is isoclinal fold. If two limbs of a fold are parallel, the fold is said to be isoclinal. Isoclinal folds are formed when the compressive force is so strong that both the limbs of the fold become parallel but not horizontal. Number 5th one is a recumbent fold. This is an overturned fold in which the axial plane is virtually horizontal. Last one, there is a anticlinal fold, an arched fold or a fold of the strata of the earth crust. The two sides or limbs of the fold dip in opposite directions away from a crestline or central axis. If the dip of each limb is equal, it is a symmetric anticline. If the angle of dip of one limb is greater than the other, the anticline will be asymmetric, means it is also called as a asymmetric fold or all folded, because denudation generally attacks the arches of folded structures faster than it does the down folds, means the syncline. It is common for these to become the location of valleys which run along the anticlinal axis, thereby exposing older rocks in the core of the anticline. In some areas, a complex incline of great lateral extent is found in which many minor folds occur. Such a feature is known as anticlinorium. So the folds that close sidewise are called as natural folds in contrast to antiform or symform sideways A closing folds from axial plane. So the folds may be divided into three broad types such as dip of axial planes, axial surface which are upright, inclined, recumbent, inverted or overturned or localized. So as a inverted or overturned folds in inclined fold, it holds the dipping in different characters, but if the two limbs are dipping in the same direction, means these folds are termed as inverted folds. So like this way there are some folds in normal and others are inverted. So isoclinal fold that we have seen that the two limbs which is having folds are parallel and fold is said to be as a isoclinal. So as a amplitude and wavelength, if you see that these are two elements measuring the size of the fold if the hinges are not visible. So as a syncline is a downward fold, just the reverse of an anticline, the side of the syncline dip towards each other, meeting at the bottom of the fold. If synclines are closed due to the downward plunge or all sides of the rocks that make up the structure, the resulting form is basin or canoe shaped. The sizes vary greatly as in case of anticlines. Means the syncline occurs very commonly beside anticline. A complex syncline of great lateral extent in which many minor folds occur is known as synclinorium. Contrary to this, a series of smaller anticlines and synclines which form part of the larger arched surface structures in the surface in the Earth's crust is known as anticlinorium. Thank you very much.